Hi folks, and welcome to another edition of Plastic Models by Regular Dude and my end of March going into April update. So what's been going on around here? If you follow my channel, you'll see that I put up a few videos recently with the completion of the Tamiya M10 Tank Destroyer project. Finally done. Finally done. So I'm making some headway. And I think that has a lot to do with the mentality I've developed and the kind of the plan I'm going with. As I mentioned in an earlier video in the month about getting your inspiration back, and I've discovered that my inspiration, what keeps me going, what keeps me stoked on the building, is just focus on one kit at a time, not trying to do multiple kits and getting too involved with all this stuff. So it's working, seems to be working. I was able to get the M10 done, and it was a lot of fun once I just focused purely on that kit alone, didn't worry about any of the rest. So I'm really stoked with that. So one project down. I've got three to go, but more like two. Um, the one that I am going to hold off on and do other kits is the Bronco Stug 3 that I'm doing as a buddy build with Peter Person. And as I have mentioned in an earlier video, Peter Person is having some health issues with leukemia, and it's come back. So he's been in and out of the hospital. He's been doing a little bit of work, but he hasn't really had the strength or really the desire to do it. He's in good spirits. It's just, he's going through a lot of medical procedures and stuff like that. So I'm sure time is at a premium. So right now, he told me the other day he's going to be um, at a university hospital undergoing bone marrow transplant, stuff like that, and he's going to be doing that for involved doing that for quite a while. So keep him in your thoughts. If you're a religious person, keep him in your prayers, and hope that he recovers completely from this yet again. He's already kicked it before, and I'm thinking he can kick it again. Some different treatments. Hopefully it'll work out good for him. So Peter, if you're watching this, remember there's a lot of us out here that are thinking of you and wishing you the best. So anyway, until he gets recovered from that, the Stug 3 is on hold. We're both about the paint stage, so we're going to kind of hang tight on that, or I'm going to hang tight on that for kind of indefinitely till I find out from him what's going on, because I do want to complete this buddy build with him. So anyway, so that's one kit, but in reality I have two kits that I'm actually working on right now, or have been. I'm not actually working on both because I'm focusing on one. And the first one I'm focusing on is the Bucher, I think it is, BU-181 Bestmann, the trainer plane. I've made some progress on it. I'm going to do a video on some of the stuff I'm working on and how I'm doing it. It's not a detailed build, it's just, or detailed build video, I should say. It's just what I'm kind of shooting as I go. So I need to work on that. And then, as I've mentioned a ton of times, I'm still working on the Revell Germany FW190 F8. That's coming along quite nicely, and that one's getting a little closer to completion. So my goals, short-term goals, are to get the 181 trainer done in April. And I say in April, it seems like kind of a long time for such a small model. But as my son will be getting married on the 21st of April, so there's a lot of prep and stuff like that to do. And then on the 22nd of April, me and Mama are taking about a week-long vacation, so I won't be doing any work then. So anyway, that's the plan, to get that one done in April, in between all my other activities, and then get cracking on the FW190, get that one done, maybe possibly the next month, May. So that's the plans on the kits, and then from there, I'll figure out what kit I'm going to do next. I'm thinking about letting my viewers decide, because I've got a few kits to work on, and I'm kind of at a loss as to which one to do. Now there's one I may do just as a really quick, right out of the box, just build it, just, you know, no detail, no getting crazy with it, just build it out of the box, just see what I can do, and, you know, paint and light weathering because it's a desert vehicle. I may do that one first if I haven't decided, and then I may put it up to you guys, the viewers, to decide which kit I build next. So, but we'll see. Depends on how I feel when the time comes. So there's that. Then the video I uploaded a few weeks ago where I asked for my viewers to give me at least their first name, so I know who I'm talking to whenever somebody responds, you know. So like if somebody say, you know, I build a model and I put something up and somebody like 13 Bravo replies, I know, hey, that's Harold. Hey Harold, thanks for the comment, blah 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 blah. It's just nice to know names, know who I'm talking to. It makes it a little more personal, I think, and you know, it's a good deal. A lot of people gave me their first and last name, which is great. It makes it even better. There were a few that gave me their first name just because, you know, of security concerns, and I totally 100% agree. So thanks for sending me your first name. At least I have that and I can respond. So to everybody who responded, and people are still responding, I thank you and I really appreciate it. I'm keeping a running list. That way I can, you know, get everybody's names stuck in my head. So thanks a lot for all of the replies and doing that for me. So that's pretty much on the kit front. No new stuff I've gotten. I've got some of the Vallejo acrylic weathering products on the way, namely mud effects. I've never tried those, and I want to try some of them because I think if I can try those and cut some of my weathering time down, that would be a good thing. I mean, I have a pretty good method now that's working, but I think I can get it. You know, if I can do it out of something in, you know, a small bottle, that'd be good. You know, just to make it a little more efficient and, you know, a little less time mixing stuff and all that kind of thing. So, got some of those on the way, but that's really it. You know, I've pretty much got to the point where I actually have more than what I really want as far as products. I mean, I have some paints that I never even touch them. Um, you know, getting all wild, you know, ordering a bunch of stuff, thinking I'm going to do something with them, and then I don't. So what I'm trying to do is like use what I have and kind of trim it down a little bit because I've discovered that I really use just a small quantity of products, small selection, I should say, not quantity. There's certain colors I use, certain effects that I use, and stuff like that. And having all this extra stuff, it's not necessary, and it's wasteful because I hate throwing things away if I'm not using them. And the bad part about, you know, paints and any kind of liquids nowadays is so stinking, you know, prohibitive to try and send that stuff through the mail. I'd give the stuff away to somebody if I could, you know, mail it without having to, you know, sign off my firstborn just to do it with the postal service or whoever else. And I may look into doing that, see if I can find a way to ship it, you know, without a big concern. I mean, obviously it'd have to be in the country, but, you know, if somebody could use it, they could use it. But I have to determine what I use the most, and I may look into that. Excuse me. Emergency vehicle. People always comment on emergency vehicles. We got them all the time. That was an ambulance going by. No big worries. So anyway, that's no new products, nothing like that. I showed a video of my my man tunnel as opposed to man cave because I have an entry and an exit, which is a tunnel. Caves usually just have an entrance. You got to go back from which you came. This is a tunnel. You can come in one end, go out the other. If I gave a quick rundown of that, some improvements I made with a new bookcase full of that I can put all my models in, and then a glass front, nicer cabinet that I can put, you know, the nicer stuff in and on top of. So yeah, things are going really good here in the man tunnel. not really much else. I do want to comment on my videos and what I plan on doing in the future. I want to try and tighten my videos up more. I don't want it to be totally scripted or really, just hi, welcome. Today I will be building such and such. It is blah blah blah. I don't want to do that, but I want to tighten things up a little bit, make it a little more, uh, so I can shorten the videos up so they're not so long, and keep the content relevant. Like, if I'm building something, not taking a lot of time, getting all the parts out and stuff, take the stuff out of the bags and all that kind of stuff. I want to be ready to go when the video starts and do what I'm going to do, stop it, then go on to the next part. That way my builds and whatever I'm trying to convey is a little more concise and thereby a little more watchable. I don't want to, keep it all dragged out and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing I want to do to make it a little easier. I want to do some more beginner series videos, and I may, step it back and say, okay, our first, beginner series video was to build this tank, paint it simply, weather it simply, and do the same thing again, but with maybe a different kit, without a bunch of additions. Make it like, say, um, back in my BMX days, they had different classes that you raced in. They had beginner, novice, expert, and then on to pro. Well, I've done the beginner stuff, and I'd like to kick it up to novice, where maybe it's a little more complicated kit, but yet stick with the basics. So it'd be like a Tamiya kit or something like that, but keep it simple. So I want to do that, and I just want to get my videos a little more concise and a little bit better. I really want to focus on keeping my hands in frame and stuff like that. I just want to improve my videos. So if you guys have any comments or suggestions on how I can improve my videos within reason, I'd appreciate some comments below. I know a lot of you say you really like my videos, and and I'm glad you do, and I really enjoy making them. That's why I do them. But if I can make them a little bit better, I'd like to. So if you give me some comments that I could incorporate, I would really appreciate it. Because I do value everybody's input, and I want the videos to be enjoyable and helpful at the same time. I'm not just doing this to toot my own horn because, my horn just, my models are mediocre at best. I just enjoy doing it, and if I can help anybody with anything, that's what I want to do. So comments down below on any of that if you would. And that's it. I think that's it for this update. I'm at almost 13 minutes, so I'm going to cut it off, keep it somewhat concise if possible. So as always, questions or comments, especially on things I asked for, comments below. I would appreciate it. Stay tuned for an update on the 181 trainer. And until next time, I will see you all later.